It takes 21 pounds of milk to make a single pound of butter. It takes 5,000 liters of water to produce 1 kilogram of butter. 270 million cows belch methane into the atmosphere every day. The butter industry generates $56 billion annually. Yet 2 seeds growing across North America produce a superior spread. No cows, no milk, no industrial processing. By the end of this video, you will know exactly how to make unlimited butter from your own garden without a single animal, a single gallon of milk, or a single trip to the store. Welcome back to Garden Explained with Harry. Click that subscribe button. Now let us begin. Walk into any health food store in America today. You will find almond butter, cashew butter, and peanut butter in 17 different varieties. But the 2 seeds with the highest nutritional density in North America sit on the bottom shelf. Sometimes they are not there at all. Most shoppers walk past without a second glance. They do not know what they are missing. They were never taught. The first seed is the sunflower, the second is the pumpkin. Together, they represent 5,000 years of food technology that Western civilization ignored. Not because the science was hidden, because no corporation could patent a seed you grind at home. In what is now present-day Arizona and New Mexico, Native American farmers domesticated the sunflower around 3000 BC. Archaeologists believe this happened before the domestication of corn. Those early plant breeders selected for larger seeds over generations, increasing seed size by 1,000% through careful cultivation. They ground those seeds into a creamy spread they called seed balls, a portable, nutrient-dense food for long journeys. This was butter, 5,000 years before European settlers arrived with their dairy cows. The Hopi people cultivated sunflowers in terraced gardens across the desert Southwest. The Cherokee grew them along river valleys in what is now Tennessee. The Hidatsa maintained seed varieties along the Missouri River for centuries. Every major agricultural tribe knew these plants, and everyone processed the seeds into food. When European colonizers arrived, they brought cattle. They brought dairy traditions from the British Isles and Northern Europe. They brought an economic system built around animal husbandry. Indigenous knowledge was not suppressed through conspiracy, it was simply ignored, and it was replaced by systems that required continuous inputs. Seeds that replant themselves generate no repeat revenue. Cows that need constant feeding, watering, and milking generate endless transactions. Now let us examine what modern science has confirmed about these seeds. Sunflower seeds contain the highest concentration of vitamin E among all nuts and seeds ever tested. A single 1-ounce serving provides 69% of your daily requirement. 1 cup of sunflower seeds exceeds 100% of the daily vitamin E recommendation. According to national health surveys from 2001 and 2002, more than 90% of American adults do not meet even the estimated average requirement of 12 milligrams per day. 9 out of 10 people walking through any grocery store in America are vitamin E deficient. The solution sits in a bag on the shelf behind them. Researchers at the USDA Agricultural Research Service conducted direct comparisons between sunflower seed butter and other nut butters. Their findings were published in peer-reviewed journals. Sunflower seed butter contains significantly more monounsaturated fat than peanut butter or almond butter. It contains roughly half the saturated fat of peanut butter. It exceeds both in magnesium, phosphorus, zinc, copper, and selenium content. The data is not ambiguous. The nutritional superiority is measurable. A study involving more than 6,000 adults found that those who consumed sunflower seeds at least 5 times per week had 32% lower levels of C-reactive protein. This is a key marker of inflammation. Chronic inflammation underlies heart disease, diabetes, and numerous autoimmune conditions. The participants did not take supplements. They ate seeds. Now consider the pumpkin seed. The World Health Organization identified pumpkin seeds as one of the best food sources for zinc and magnesium on Earth. Not a supplement, not a pharmaceutical formulation. A seed that grows on a vine in backyard gardens across every temperate climate zone. 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds provides 39% of the daily magnesium requirement. The same serving delivers 18% of daily zinc needs. These are not minor nutrients. Magnesium participates in over 300 enzymatic reactions in the human body. Zinc is essential for immune function, wound healing, and protein synthesis. A large observational study tracked participants over 28 years. Those who consumed the highest amounts of magnesium had a 15% lower risk of developing type 2 diabetes compared to those with the lowest intake. The connection between magnesium intake and metabolic health is now well established in the scientific literature. Research published in peer-reviewed journals has documented that pumpkin seeds and pumpkin seed oil demonstrate significant effects on cardiovascular health. A 12-week study involving 35 postmenopausal women found that pumpkin seed oil supplementation reduced diastolic blood pressure by 7% and increased HDL cholesterol by 16%. These are the outcomes that pharmaceutical companies spend billions trying to achieve through synthetic compounds. Pumpkin seeds are also one of the richest natural sources of L-arginine. This conditionally essential amino acid plays critical roles in blood vessel function and cardiovascular health. So here is the question that demands an answer. Why do 90% of Americans remain vitamin E deficient when sunflower seeds sit in every grocery store? Why does the World Health Organization endorse pumpkin seeds while most Western consumers have never made pumpkin seed butter? Follow the money. The global butter market reached $56 billion in 2025. 270 million dairy cows are maintained worldwide to supply this industry. The infrastructure is staggering: land for grazing, land for growing feed crops, water systems for the animals, methane mitigation efforts, cold chain logistics from farm to store, processing facilities, packaging plants, distribution networks. Livestock production accounts for 14 to 18% of global greenhouse gas emissions. More than 30% of worldwide methane emissions come from cattle. More than 2/3 of all agricultural land grows feed for livestock. Only 8% produces food for direct human consumption. The inefficiency is structural: 21 pounds of input for 1 pound of output. Now consider the alternative. A single sunflower head can contain up to 2,000 seeds. The plants grow in USDA zones 3 through 10. This covers nearly the entire continental United States. They tolerate poor soil. They tolerate drought. They require minimal care after establishment. One planting season, thousands of seeds, years of butter production. A food processor costs less than $100. The processing time is 15 minutes. No cold chain required. No industrial facility. No patents possible. No corporate gatekeeping. This is why the research funding flows elsewhere. Search any medical database for fish oil studies and you will find over 15,000 published papers. Search for sunflower seed oil studies and you will find only a fraction of that number. That ratio is not based on scientific merit, it is based on commercial interest. Fish oil requires industrial extraction, it requires encapsulation, it requires quality control, cold storage, and branded packaging. Every step in that supply chain generates revenue. Every step can be controlled. A seed you grow in your backyard cannot be controlled. A butter you grind in your kitchen cannot be patented. The economic system that promotes profitable interventions simply overlook the profitable plants, not through conspiracy, through structure. Companies fund research that supports their products. They do not fund research that makes their products unnecessary. Universities pursue grants from available sources, and those sources favor patentable interventions. The funding flows to what can be owned. Growing sunflowers requires minimal expertise. Plant seeds directly in soil after the last frost. Space them 12 to 18 inches apart. Water occasionally during establishment. Allow the flower heads to mature fully on the stalk. When the back of the head turns brown and the seeds are plump, harvest the entire head. Dry it in a warm location. Remove the seeds by rubbing the head over a container. Store dried seeds in airtight containers. They remain viable for years. To make butter, add seeds to a food processor. Process for 10 to 15 minutes, scraping down the sides periodically. The seeds will progress from crumbled to paste to smooth butter. Add salt if desired. Store at room temperature for weeks or refrigerate for months. One harvest provides a year of butter. No subscription required. Pumpkin seeds follow similar patterns. Grow any winter squash variety. Some varieties produce pepitas, seeds without shells. Harvest mature pumpkins in fall. Scoop out seeds. Rinse and dry them thoroughly. Roast lightly if desired. Process into butter using the same method as sunflower seeds. A single pumpkin produces hundreds of seeds. A small garden patch produces dozens of pumpkins. The multiplication is exponential. The cost after initial planting approaches zero. Both seed butters offer something that peanut butter cannot. They are free from common allergens. Schools that ban peanuts and tree nuts often permit sunflower and pumpkin seed products. Families with allergies can finally send their children to school with sandwiches. The practical applications extend beyond nutrition into daily life. The question was never whether these plants could make butter. Native Americans proved that 5,000 years ago in the Arizona desert. The Cherokee proved it in the Tennessee valleys. The Hidatsa proved it along the Missouri River. The question is why modern systems failed to notice. Why are there 270 million cows when seeds accomplish the same purpose with a fraction of the resources? Why $56 billion flows to an industry requiring 21 pounds of input for every single pound of output? The answer is structure. Economic systems see what benefits economic systems. Research follows funding. Funding follows patents. Patents require control. Seeds that self-propagate cannot be controlled. They spread. They reproduce. They naturalize in gardens across continents. They become free. What cannot be owned cannot be sold. What cannot be sold cannot be marketed. What cannot be marketed does not enter consciousness. 3 generations of Western consumers grew up without ever hearing the words seed butter. Not because anyone deliberately hid it, but because no corporation profited from revealing it. But you know now. You know that Native Americans made butter from seeds 5,000 years ago. You know that sunflower seeds contain more vitamin E than any nut or seed ever tested. You know that the World Health Organization endorses pumpkin seeds for zinc and magnesium. You know that a single sunflower head produces 2,000 seeds. You know that a food processor and 15 minutes stand between you and independence from the dairy supply chain. The seed companies will not advertise this. The dairy industry will not mention it. The supplement manufacturers selling vitamin E capsules will not bring it up. But the sunflower does not care about market share. It cares about reproduction. It cares about spreading. It has grown on this continent since before recorded history. It will continue growing long after the current economic systems collapse and reform and collapse again. 5,000 years of proven nutrition, sitting in packets at every garden center, waiting for someone to remember what the ancestors knew? Subscribe and watch the next video to discover more secrets hidden beneath nature.